The final day of the Viessmann FIBT four-man bobsleigh World Cup season, and what a stunning morning in Sochi in Russia. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Sanki Sliding Center, the 2014 Olympic track, a year on as we return for the season finale in the blue-ribboned bobsleigh event. Martin Haven, John Morgan, trackside to watch the action with you. And John, this track is going to produce some spectacular racing if the two-man is anything to go by.
Well, the cathedral of sliding sports here in Sochi, as I call it, it's a spectacular facility, 1,500 meters, 17 curves. We've seen some awesome competitions, 3 so far. Steve Holcomb with the start record from the Winter Olympic Games, him and the night train team. I don't think we're going to see the start record today. I could be wrong. In the sled quickly, get around these first couple curves, because there's a couple graveyards coming up for time, and they're in these uphill sections. Watch here out of curve 4, 5, and then right here. This is the first of 3 uphill sections. A lot of problems for all disciplines here, and very few people come through there clean. 6, and now you start to reach speeds, 65, 70 miles an hour, 8, 9, this straightaway here at 10. This is easy, not easy, because you have to go uphill at the end here, and then another chance to accelerate. Still, the steepness here in the 3rd uphill section, 16, pressure, you can see the G-forces in 17. Awesome facility they have here, and we've had some awesome racing so far. Look who's got the track record, and he's here on the venue.
The Olympic champion Alexander Zhukov in 2-man and 4-man is here, back at his home ice, but he will not compete. Oscar's Melbardis cannot now be caught for the lead in the World Cup. Francesco Friedrich isn't racing, and Alexander Kasyanov is just too far behind to offer a threat. So Melbardis, having tied up the 2-man Crystal Globe chase yesterday, has already tied up the 4-man. However, there are some very close battles up and down the order. Max Arndt and Niko Walther just 7 points apart for the honor of being the second best German. There is 24-year-old Niko Walther, this young sensation, one of 2 young drivers in the field who burst out onto the scene this year. And John, the new crop for Germany is looking very promising indeed.
Well, they've always got smiles on their faces, and boy, they were perplexed their first couple trips down the track here in Sochi. They had not been here before, newbies. There's Max Arndt, the veteran of the German team, finished like 5th or 6th last year at the Olympic Games, warming up in this unbelievable facility. There's the stud, Oscar's Melbardis, the 2-man champion, the 4-man champion, and the combined champion. He's won all 3 disciplines this year.
15 sleds in the field. Rico Peter will be first away, and after winning his first ever 2-man World Cup race yesterday, I'm sure he's liking the idea of start draw number 1. He'll have the best ice. First 3 or 4 perhaps might benefit. Further down the order, you'll see Kaylee Humphries and Alana Myers-Taylor both racing the 4-man here as well. Getting the final 4-man race of the season underway. The World Championships looming over the horizon just a fortnight from now. But first, the last World Cup. Rico Peter, winner yesterday in the 2-man. Can he double up here? What a sensation if he could. The 31-year-old with his crew, 25-year-old Dutchman Broer van der Zijde, Thomas Anrijn, also 25, an ex-skateboarder Fabio Badran on the back of the sled.
The guy he won the $16,000 with yesterday on the brakes says that he's been with him today. So he's got 3 different guys in here. And I think there's nobody more surprised than Rico Peter, who walked you away with that gold medal yesterday. That was, big skid, big problem out of curve 2 already. But I think everybody in Switzerland's shocked that he won that gold medal.
Not least Bad Hefty.
Bad Hefty. There's a problem out of curve 5 to 6 into the uphill.
Well, I think the track today is looking much glossier. It's a much colder, crisper night and morning than it has been throughout the whole week. I think they're going to find the ice is very different in feel today. The sled will respond very differently.
Real late. Remember, they come off no practice time with four-mans. They go from the two-man to the four-man. They go from a sports car to a big luxury vehicle. They don't handle the same. So,
and the ice is very different as well. 138.3 down the bottom, 86 miles an hour.
55.07. The track record's 54.82. We got a chance.
I think we do. You know, the way the ice is, how cold and fast it is, might have to be in the next 2 or 3 sleds, though, before it starts to give up its pace.
Well, you got Kasanoff and Melbardis coming. Both of those guys got a chance. Rico, he has won 1 medal this year in the World Cup circuit. His first ever was in four-manning. But here, the start, well, you know, their start time of 4:86. That's not bad for these 4 guys. Good entry load. It's a longer opportunity here to get in, get down before the first curve. But he made the mistake. Look at this. This is why I think a track record's in place. He's 2,500ths out of the track record, and he's made a mistake like that out of curve 2.
Really slithery at the top of the track. So, Rico Petia, the first sled down. Alexander Kasyanov of Russia, 3rd in the World Cup standings, and he could now overhaul Francesco Friedrich to be the season runner-up. 31-year-old. 4th in the Winter Games in the 2-man and the 4-man. He feels this track owes him big time.
Yeah, low 80s would be great. 483. Oh, we got a problem. Still, guy couldn't still get in. I'm sure our crew will show us that. And he didn't hit out of curve 2 or 3, but the speed should have been better than it was. Oh, okay. You start seeing this go down to 25 or 30. And he's got a skid there.
Long skid out of 5.
He gets to 25 here. We've got a chance for a track record. 21. We're right on the edge of the track record.
He's tidied up. 127 kilometers an hour there.
23, he's still accelerating away. Ooh, he hung in there, but it's hard hit in the uphill section. Let's look at the back of the sled. Good, the speed. Watch the speed. 25, close to this track record.
And at the line, he is inside the track record. Alexander Kasyanov moves the mark. Quicker than the fastest run in the Olympic Championship.
Wow. So, okay, Alexander, it's a lot of frustration for him on this venue, finishing 4th in the 2-man, 4th in the 4-man in the Olympic Games, missing Olympic medals by 0.03 of a second. He's had to live with that. He returns to the venue, and this is what you expect. This start team is getting much better. They're not big guys. They're all sprinters, but here's the problem. Look at this. The number 2 guy just couldn't get comfortable, couldn't get his feet in.
Yeah, guy at 3, he had a leg caught up clearly behind his teammate.
Look at the runner tips here. He knows he's in a skid. And watch him take the left side over here. He hits the take-on before the curve. But the 4-mans don't get pushed away like the 2-mans.
Just waiting for it to come back to him. Oskars Melbardis of Latvia, our 4-man and 2-man and combined World Cup champion this season. What a dominating performance he's had. 4 wins so far in the 4-man, a silver and 2 bronze medals. Never off the podium. We've just seen the track record established by Alexander Kasyanov, and it could go immediately. Martin Haven, John Morgan watching the action here at the Olympic track in Sochi.
Well, they're also not happy that they don't own the start record on the 4-man that Holcomb got last year at the Olympics. 4.75. 4.75.
Wow, ties the record.
Well, they got a share of the record now. And I'm sure they were saying, we want to own the record. So, game on. Let's see if Melbardis can do. He's never been off the podium in 4-man all year, but that's not a good sign there. He should have been more up than that, and they make some mistake there. Now he's going to lose some time back, I think.
Well, everybody hits out of that, whether you're in bobsleigh or skeleton.
Yeah, he's lost time back. So his start is gone. He's going to hang on for 2nd. This mistakes up top.
Very good speed from the Latvian sled. So, could be up to nearly 140 kilometers an hour at the bottom.
Red numbers.
This is within 100th or 2 of the leader. Good run here,
137,
137, just a little slower than the Russian. 800s back.
Yeah, he's with that start time, he should have been 2,500s better. You know, we're complaining he's only in second place. I mean, he didn't have a clean run, but he hasn't been off the podium this year. He's won the 2-man, 4-man, and combined titles.
And he won the last World Cup race here as well 2 seasons ago.
Yeah, and then, of course, second last year at the Olympic Games. Latvia's first ever Winter Olympic Games bobsled medal, which meant a lot to them. But here, up 4-5, exit of 5, bang, look at the runner tips. Oh, I'm trying to get control, I'm trying to get to control. I'm in the uphill section. That wasn't as clean as Kasanoff. And then here, well, he's got a skid going the wrong direction that way. And he hit, that's the uphill section.
Yep, that cost him the lead. Just that touch there and the skid uphill.
Dalman
Strieskin's on the left, 30 years old. Been competing for Latvia since 2003.
Okay.
Justin Cripps of Canada, the 28-year-old, born in Hawaii. Man of mystery, holds 3 different passports. 28-year-old Tim Randall, 27-year-old Brian Barnett, and 27-year-old Ben Coquell, the crew of the sled.
4th place for Cripps yesterday, $3,000 a person. $8,000 first prize, 44, good start for him. He crashed in the second run of the Olympic Games down at curve 10. A mistake, he was an inch away from being perfect and having a chance to move up. And then came back the next day with a makeshift crew and did finish the competition.
Yeah, if Kasyanov thinks the track owes him, Cripps really thinks the track owes him after the games.
Yeah, 92.4, it's not bad. You know,
good speed.
Again, all the money on the line here. Top 6 all get cash. That, you know, every guy in this sled saying, I'll take, these guys would say, I'll take a top 5 right here.
Yep.
Not bad. He's staying off the walls. He's got a few runner checks going on. That's a good exit there. Well, he's way off the pace. Looks like he's going to be 4th to 4.
Yep, the bogey track remains a bogey track for Justin Cripps.
Ooh, coaches look on and know that's going to be tough. But they got a chance because all the rest of the times now are going to fall away. Remember, he went early yesterday, was in 3rd place at the end of the first run, and only fell 1 spot in the second run to 4th and made himself $3,000 for him and his brakeman, Brian Barnett. And Barnett, if we get a chance, is showing a new hairdo. Yeah, today I saw him in the hotel. Start. The cohesiveness of a 4-man bobsled start. Get in. 4 huge men have to get in a bathtub and sit down and now get in an aerodynamic position. Let's look for the aerodynamic position. Well, we can see a lot of body back there. Some helmets. He's got a skid going. This isn't a long straightaway. 10, 11, 12. And there's a number 2 man saying, hey, Justin, one more trip here. International man of mystery.
Justin Cripps lies in 4th place, 4,500s back. Nick Cunningham of the USA, really good first trip yesterday in the 2-man. All came unstitched in the second. He was just beside himself.
Let's go!
Adam Clark from Kentucky. Alex Harrison and James Reed, born in Garmisch in Germany. They're the crew of the night train.
So Alex Harrison, the decathlete from Western Washington, somebody slipped. Said that give us the start time, we're going to match it. Well, watch their speed, 50.3. And that's going to be even worse probably at the next clock because I'm sure that slip cost him something. And Cunningham had a great first run yesterday. And everybody's surprised in the second run, though. He just can't find a way to put 2 runs together. That was a good exit there. 92.2.
Only 1100s back from the leader, Alexander Kasyanov, but now the time is starting to
fall away. This is
disappear out of the track.
All he can do now is hold on, make some good
speed
lines.
there, 134.1. That's 83.5 miles an hour.
And then he's got to go another 200 meters down the track at least. He's flying.
5th place.
Way off the plate, way off the pace.
Speed is going away from the ice.
The speed's gone now.
Yeah. This is really tough for these guys because the first 3 or 4 sleds definitely
big advantage
in the last couple of days have had a big advantage, and then the track just plateaus. And
they were talking this morning, Tom Delahunty, the Canadian coach, that they got to send 8 sleds down as spore bobs to really, you know, and then that
take
would
the
equal
shine off the
take
track.
the shine off the track, because the guy who goes early has a big advantage. But this is only the 3rd time they've used this track.
Yeah.
And of course, at the Olympics last year, it was 4 runs. Watch the slip here at the start on the right side. Again, he slipped right off the bunk. Wow.
Slipped off the bunk.
Good save.
Almost fell on the brake, man.
All they got
your teammates
legs.
trying to haul you in.
Oh, you got then he caused the 3 guy in the brake. The number 3 guy, I think it's got to be Alex Harrison. Yeah. Nick, what do you think of that?
You know, not too much wrong with that drive from Nick Cunningham. He lies in 5th position. It's Alexander Kasyanov of Russia who's our race leader. The first of 2 heats here in the 4-man season finale. Well, what a view, what a distracting view today. The last few days, the mountains have been swathed in cloud, or at least there's been a layer of cloud above us in the Sanki Sliding Center between us and the peaks. But today you can see them in all their glory. And what a Sunday for skiing. Everybody who's on holiday here today, boy, what a great day on the piste it's going to be.
And you can come right from Rosa Capur, right up on a gondola, right up to curve 6 and get out. And this was probably where most of this crowd came from.
Absolutely right. What a great way to travel. Just hop in the gondola right in the center of town and be deposited at the track.
And right above that is another extension that goes up to where the alpine skiing events were held last year, and where Lake Placid native Andrew Weibrick won a silver medal in slalom.
Well, there's a lot of good powder up there.
Look at, there is great skiing. It is really, every place we look around us, we can see, look way over there in those peaks. Look at those peaks up there that gondolas are going up that direction too.
Lots of young families here on holiday and bringing the kids up the mountain to enjoy watching the racing. And of course, for all of them, the double Olympic championship gold medal winning Alexander I'm going to say Kasyanov now.
Trechikov.
Yeah, no, I don't mean Trechikov either. Zubkov, there we go, another Alexander. And that kind of just really catapulted, and of course Alexander Trechikov with the skeleton gold as well, really catapulted the sport into everybody's forefront. It was one of the big focuses for Russian coverage of the Winter Olympic Games, and their stars did not disappoint. Viessmann FIBT race number 8 for the 4-man bobsleigh, the season finale here at the Olympic track for Sochi 2014. Martin Haven, John Morgan watching first 5 sleds down. Race leader is Alexander Zubkov of Russia. Now Max Arndt of Germany, 6th in the games 12 months ago. Can the reigning 4-man world champion get in amongst the medals?
He's got 2 guys on the sled, Rodeker and Putza, who were Olympic gold medalists with Andre Lange. So he's got some power on the sled. But he's got Ben Heber in there, who's pretty new.
Yeah, 22-year-old Heber.
Needs to get in the mid-80s. Oh, that's not good.
A little skid as well.
Mid-80s. This is what happens to Max Arndt. He gives up time at the start. Now he's got a deficient track to work with. Last year he was #1 at the Olympic Games, and he was in the top 3 at the end of the first run. In the second run he fell away and looked to 4th, and the third run he fell to 6th and stayed there. But his start is what his nemesis is.
Speed is good. Only Kasyanov quicker at this stage, but he's 2/10 back.
And this looks like 4th or 5th.
Well, he was 6th fastest starter out of 6 sleds. He's already pushed himself back into 4th.
Look at that skid. Ooh, that's a hard hit on the entry. 11-12. Out of 15 to 16. Finish the speed 137.7's not bad for this. It's 4th
place, 55-2-0 run leaves him.
That leaves him in a chance to strike for a medal.
Yeah.
Although he's 1300ths out of Rico Peter, and Rico Peter went first. So I give the advantage there to Max Arndt in the second run. Plus their start wasn't that good. You know, I don't think he had a good entry because Arndt was playing with the runners as he got out of the start grooves.
Yeah,
Watch
sled
this.
wriggled around as
Yeah,
everybody
watch
got
this.
in.
Watch these grooves end. Now watch, the driver should just be able to go straight. Now watch, we got issues here.
Well, he's going straight.
look at
He
the
has to
rudder tips.
steer it there because
And
the back of the sled is moving as the other athletes get in.
That's like you put your foot on the gas and it's sputtering. You know, he lost some acceleration. And then here, he's got some real skid problems. Watch him hit the front take on, bang. And then he goes into that curve, probably a few inches where he doesn't want to be. And then here in the uphill section, does he hit on the take on going in? I bet you the back end of the sled's in the air.
Climbs high on the wall.
Well, he's too early there.
Of course, all that G-force grinding down into the ice there, that is friction. That takes speed out of the sled as well. Nikita Zakharov a rush, the 27-year-old. Started sliding in 2007 in their World Cup team. Maxim Krusov and Kirill Antuk both been in the team 3 years. And new boy Vasily Kondratenko joins the lineup.
Okay, this could be a surprise. If it gets a decent start, I'd say 87.
Oh,
86, okay, it's decent. Speed, not very good though, 50 flat. Needs better speed than that. Well, he's been down the track. Now, none of these guys were here in October and November. They're over in North America, sliding in Whistler. And their big event is coming up in a couple of weeks. They have a big competition here after the World Championships with probably 20 sleds for both. But the skeleton guys, there's 27 skeleton athletes, men and women, in the trials here in November. But so these bobsled athletes, the Olympics last year was the last time they were on the track.
quarter second back. He was 15th in the games last year.
Ooh, double hit. Uphill, back end, good. Speed, 137 is the best. We want to see 136.9, not bad for this late at 6, not bad. Not bad.
6'10's back, that should end up being maybe a top 10 time.
He's 100th ahead of Cunningham.
And 1500's behind Justin Cripps, and that can vanish just as easily as it can appear. 17 turns here, 3 uphill sections, so many opportunities to make mistakes.
And watch, there's 2 guys in early. He's waiting for the 3 guys. Oh, I can't get my leg in there. Hold, I can't get it in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Has to go around the back of the driver. The brakeman's still trying to wriggle in as well.
They had a decent speed, not very good velocity though. The 50 kilometer per hour velocity wasn't good. It should have been up 50.2, 50.3, and then he had these skids here. Look at the back end. Great. That was good lines.
The 5-6 transition is really difficult. Everybody's hitting the wall.
The first of those 3 graveyards.
Niko Walther from Germany now, the 24-year-old from Altenburg, won his first ever World Cup 4-man race in Altenburg, took gold in the 2-man in Koenigsegg.
Quite a mix of athletes here. Young, old, experienced. He's got it all right in his sled.
Yeah, Joshua Bloom. Oh, it's over. It's over. And the handle's out.
Oh my gosh. Oh boy.
Well, 486 was a good getaway, but
this is the first time these 4 guys have been in the sled as a combination, and that showed why bobsled is a team sport. Everybody has to perform at a high level, and this guy's got the biggest smile of anybody on tour, but he won't be smiling at the bottom of the track.
Might not see that this morning, no.
No, it's too bad.
6'10's back already. He's going to be way out the tail of the field.
He was struggling. He'll be the first one to admit he's struggling to get down the track fast. He's not threatening, dangerous.
Oh, yikes.
Boy, nice check there, though. But I just think, the 3 guys in the back of the track, Andreas Bredo, Joshua Blum's new, but Christian Posier, they're all experienced
Bredo
guys.
and Posier both were 7th in the games with Thomas Florschutz.
Yeah, this is Christoph Langen.
Yep.
Sven Ruhr on the right. Langen's Olympic gold medalist with him in 1998 in Nagano. But this is not what happened.
Yeah.
Well, what happened is, I would think it comes from the left side. Let's see, or does he hook his foot?
Nah.
Oh, no,
it's all the bodies moving. Hits the wall.
Something happened.
Handle drags.
Well, this is how. Look at the runners there.
Desperately trying to get it onto turn 1.
Wow.
Because there was another short wall there where the luge track comes in, and
Look at this. And then look at the way he checks here. Look at the runners. He's trying to find control.
Big handful.
Uphills. Oh, man.
Yeah.
First time I've seen him not smile.
Yep. Niko Walther, bit of a horror story. The second run can only be better. 2010 Olympic four-man champion Stephen Holcomb. He's a two-man and four-man world champion as well. A former ski racer from Park City, Utah. Justin Olson from Texas, Carlo Valdez from California, and Oregon resident Sam Michener, the crew of the Night Train 2.
Well, he's the track record holder at the start. Team Melbardis just tied him 475. He's going to probably have 470, 482, 493.
Nice load though. The guys got in nice and sharp.
49.8 last speed. So now Holcomb's got to drive the perfect line, which he did in the two-man yesterday when he had a suspect start time and an unbelievable drive to finish 5th and get a couple $1,000 apiece for him and Carlos Valdez. He had problems like that in the Olympics every time out of that curve 5.
Bronze medalist a year ago.
By 300s in both the two-man and four-man disciplines. The track's just got no speed left in it.
Star draw number 9 really hasn't helped at all.
No. He would have had a chance today if you drew number 1.
Only a 10th behind at the start. He's 8 tenths back already. Couple of big skids, and there's another little one breaking away under the sled at the final corner.
He didn't even beat Niko Walther.
But a former Olympic champion, a second back. And Walther basically just hit himself almost to a standstill at the start.
Yeah, so things aren't working well for the Night Train and Team Steve Holcomb. Because that, with the German who just came down and crashed the wall, Holcomb should have beat him by at least 2 tenths. Here, this is a mirror. Yeah. This is an exact image from what happened to him in 3 of the 4 heats in Sochi last year at the Olympic Games.
And even as you saw it coming down off the wall, the ice was spraying up from the back runners. There's so much weight on these runners, they just carve their way into the track.
Let's see if the back end comes airborne here. No. Oh, do you see that little...
Yeah, see all the
ice coming off?
And if it's breaking ice out of the track, it's taking speed out of the sled. Comparing notes with Cody Basque.
Well,
next up, Canadian Chris Spring, 13th in the games a year ago. Lives in Calgary, as does 25-year-old Derek Plug. Alex Kopax and Josh Kirkpatrick, both from London, Ontario.
Ooh. Looks like the sled came out of the block a little bit. Ooh, another problem. Can't get the arms in. Push bar still out.
Yeah. Won't be out for long, and the brakeman thinks he's got it in. He thinks it's snapped in, and his head is buried down in the sled, so he won't see that. Spring won't know because he's got no rear view mirrors.
Somebody got it in now.
I think it just flapped in finally.
Four-man bobsledding, the ultimate in a team sport. Everything has to work precisely. He was airborne there, that curve. To get in there late. Good steering there. Looks like he's got a chance to beat Holcomb.
Came off a little early.
Looks like a 9th. No, maybe not. Ooh, skid there. Speed. There's just no speed left on the track.
Well, we saw this in the two-man race. After the first 3 or 4, whatever your start number is, that's pretty much your position at the bottom of the track, irrespective of your speed.
If they got to send 6 or 8 spore bobs down to tear up the ice, which, you know, if you remember, the Calgary track was notorious for that in the 90s. And I can remember the 96 World Championships. That's what they did in Calgary. They sent down a lot of sleds, a lot of skeleton sleds to scratch the ice up and make it fair. This, ooh, Chris Spring was looking at the wrong side of that straightaway. Now look at the push bars. Who's in charge? Well, they finally got down. This, watch this here. Watch the sled get airborne here. What's the bottom left runner? Look at it. See, that's where his teammate, Justin Cripps, tipped over last year. In almost an exact same incident.
Big hammer there on the track as you take on to the corner. Alexander Kazyanov of Russia leads by 800s from Oscar's Melbardis. Everybody else is watching from a long way back. Be a lot of anticipation at the top of the track now from the local fans for the third of our Russian sleds. This is Alexei Stulnev, and the Muscovite made his World Cup debut in Winterberg as recently as winter of 2012. Very quick in two-man training. He had a pretty decent two-man race yesterday.
Yeah, top
See
Russian.
what he can do here.
Top Russian yesterday, 6th.
Look at him, how he almost disappears from sight.
Start 50.2. Good velocity, though, for that negative, what I would say, deficient start. And
700s off the start of the race leader, Kasyanov. He hasn't got the ice that Kasyanov had, and that's showing already.
No drift there to him, but everybody drifts in that first part of the graveyard, of the 3 graveyards on this track. Now the time is just falls off. No chance.
10th at the start, 8th place now. Can he make this a top 6 run by the bottom of the track?
He's hanging in there. Uphill sections, good. The last one, speed, 137.
And he's already out of the top 7, top 8.
Wow. Boy, does it just fall away. 8, though.
Yeah.
He's just way ahead of Holcomb, way ahead of Niko Walther. Here, Luters looks on. He knows as much about this track as anybody. So, luck of the draw. Kasyanov, number 2 bib, Melbardis, number 3, Peter, number 1. Those are your top 3. They went 1, 2, 3 in the draw.
Last 4 sleds have now been the last 4 guys down.
Well, it's not going straight. And the sled, look at him, he's trying to get over.
Well, avoids the wall in 12 and 13. This is exit of 14. Steep uphill climb to 15.
Well, good aerodynamic profile for those athletes right there. You only saw the driver.
And he's like a Florida grandmother. Barely see his eyes above the
There's
cow.
some air time, the back right runner.
Look at the back breaking away and just dropping down the hill.
Pictures. Great pictures.
Wow. Stuff you see in slow-mo that you just can't see with the naked eye.
Well, they're only going 82 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Right there, so.
Well, next up, Kaylee Humphries, double Olympic champion, 29-year-old with 21-year-old Dan Dale, 27-year-old DJ McClelland, and 27-year-old Nick Poloniato on the sled. Poloniato driving in the two-man race yesterday in a borrowed sled that the Russians loaned them.
Kaylee, 3rd place yesterday in the race, ended up 2nd in the World Cup standings, so just a typical result for this extremely successful bobsled driver. See how she gets through the first graveyard curve. It's easier to steer these things because they go straighter, but once they get into a skid, boy, they're hard to get them out. That's a really good line.
That's a good exit there. 91.1 kilometers an hour. The speed is there as well, but 2700s back at the start. Coach Tom Delahanty was saying that they're using a new front chassis setup on this, a single chassis element rather than double one. And they're using Kaylee's 4-man runs to test this new idea they're trying out on the front that may well make its way onto their 2-man sleds next season. 12th place for her, 56.4.
Well, it's all related to the start. She was 2200s better than her, worse than her teammate, Chris Spring, so that'd be 6600s better. She would beat Springer if she had that start time. But that start time's tough because you have to add weight to the sled, too. But look at this. This is late, and then she's late in the next curve. Watch the sled. Tough to get the 4-mans like this. She crosses over, hits the middle of the, hits the take-on, forces the sled in the middle, and the next curve, it's even worse right here. So that caused her to be late here. And so she's late 2 or 3 curves before she finally straightened it out with tapping the wall there.
Well, 80 miles an hour, those sequences come at you so quickly. Still a learning experience for the team and for the driver. Girls, the American girls up watching at the top. Full of fun. Their World Cup season is over, but their teammate is racing in the 4-man, Alana Myers-Taylor. It's only her 2nd 4-man race of the year. World Cup champion in the women's bobsleigh.
She
with
won
6 wins out of 8 races.
Yeah. So this is Cody Bascu's crew, but of course the way they shuffle the U.S. team up, Who knows if this was the team Cody used last week. They were pretty good at the start. I would say this could be a 505, 506.
499.
She beat Holcomb at the start.
That's a good start.
Oh, boy.
Holcomb 493, she was 499.
No, she didn't beat Holcomb at the start. Excuse me. Still, that's a great start. And Alana plays rugby for the U.S. Sevens rugby team last March and April. We asked her about she going to go back to playing some rugby. She said, I've had enough hits for the season.
And that's pretty brave talk as well with the Olympic Games coming up next summer. She could have been part of the Olympic team. She said no. It's going to give the body a bit of a rest. Good speed here, 12th place from her, ahead of Kaylee Humphries.
Not bad, you know, not bad.
Good looking run.
12, a little bit ahead. Of course, she beat Kaylee by 11 hundredths at the top and only 16 at the bottom. Impressed with the start time there. I was wrong when I said she beat Holcomb. I was thinking Holcomb had that 5 flat. But sub 5 second start, that's great. Here's watch how high the sled climbs here. I think they hit there.
Yep.
And then she's got to come down, centrifugal force. Now this isn't bad here though. Remember the
Yeah, she drove herself out of trouble, didn't she?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Good run from Alana Myers-Taylor. With the World Cup in the books, taking a look at the 4-man again. She'll then focus on the women's bobsleigh for the World Championships. Well, here's 24-year-old Johannes Lochner making his World Cup debut in the 4-man. He's not raced a 4-man sled in our cameras before. 4 World Cup starts this year in 2-man. And 2 brand new guys on the back of the sled. Not new to him, but new to us.
Get in. And remember, this is a shuffled up team. A new little drift there. 196.
A lot of these guys were due to start the season with Manny Mahata. He didn't make the World Cup team, and Johannes Lochner did.
Lochner, the pedigree, of course, his uncle won the Olympic silver medal, the Albertville Olympics in 1992. His previous year, ooh, that was a hard hit. And the previous year, his uncle won the World Championships, Rudy, in Altenburg, in a great race. So he's got what it takes to be a driver, and he's a great athlete. He's a great pushing driver. So another one of the young Germans.
Ooh, and that was ugly, and that might have cost him 12th place. He was chasing down Chris Spring.
Oh, almost tipped over.
Yikes.
This is the roughest ride we've seen.
Well, now he is in self-preservation mode.
Wow.
And gets it down, still in 12th place, but boy, that was a rocky ride down at the bottom.
The roughest ride we've seen. Yeah. And I would like to see what he
shakes his head. Well, Niko Walther wasn't laughing, and Johannes Lochner won't be laughing after that one either.
Well, I don't know. He's got quite a personality.
Ah, yes, he does.
Let's see what he says. She's just going to put his hands up and say, he knows. Look, there he waved his hand.
That got away from me.
Okay. If you want to learn how to drive a bobsled, don't watch this.
Look away now, kids.
Look away now, kids. Look at his head's way up above the galley. This is where I think he realizes, oh! And the guys are on upper runner pressure there. Boy, in the back of that sled, those feelings right there is like, uh-oh. And
they got their heads between their knees waiting to kiss the backside goodbye.
Watch the backside picture they're going to give us here. This is going to be, might be the picture of the year.
Huge steer
This might be the
corner.
picture of the year. Look at this. It's a fantastic picture. Oh, you can't make a 4-man sled do that and not tip
Drifting
over.
through there like a world rally car on ice. Johannes Lochner got away with that.
Wow, wow, wow.
Wow. Well, let's hope that's the rockiest ride of the race. This is Vuk Radjanovic of Serbia, the 31-year-old wrestler from Belgrade.
I still want to talk about those pictures.
Yeah.
That's the pictures of the year.
We'll see them again in the rollouts,
Every
definitely.
picture tells a story. Wow. Wow. Okay, Vuk and his team of Serbs. That guy in the back. They couldn't get a matching uniform with him, the other yellow ones, because he's 6'9".
Yeah.
He's
not sure they make him that big.
6'9". Let's see if they all can get in. Get out, get behind him in aerodynamic profile, which they aren't. The number 2 guy is way up. Luke's father, Boris, 1984 Olympic Games for Sarajevo. In Sarajevo, for Yugoslavia then. Ooh, that's a hard hit. We saw some young pictures of his father.
Oh, yeah?
Norman Kotans was showing us that night of the Russian team and back in the mid-'80s when they were at Bob's school at Eagles. Boris was with him. Luke is at least a 3-time Olympian.
14th place. He's just in front of Kaylee Humphries.
Holding the 129 off.
Good speed at the bottom. 13th place. He jumps in front of Alana Myers-Taylor as well.
There's Boris on the left. And they go according to rankings here after the top 10. Then they go according to your FIBT rankings. So the girl, both Myers and Humphries went ahead because they had more points in the FIBT ranking with their women's competition points. Lines here. Ooh, he hits that take on. Luke, big man.
Looking a bit thoughtful there. Alexander Kasyanov is our race leader, the Russian, looking for some gold that he couldn't find 12 months ago on this Sochi Olympic track. He has a tiny margin of error, though, just 0.08 of a second, the lead over Oscar's Melbardis. Rico Peda in third, 0.29 behind. He has a good chance of a second medal this weekend.
I think Max Arndt's got a chance to catch him. Kasyanov drove the best sled. He didn't have the start time that the Melbardis had, but he had the best lines down the track. He deserves to be the leader.
Rico Peda and Alexander Kasyanov, along with Oscar's Melbardis, top 3, first 3 sleds out of the start building. They definitely had the best of the ice. But don't forget, you can join all the action in our second heat. Comes up at 12:30 local time, 09:30 GMT. Alexander Kasyanov defending a slender lead. Max Arndt not out of the equation. Justin Cripps maybe too. We'll have to see what this track throws at us in the second and deciding heat. 09:30 GMT, 04:30 Eastern. What do you mean it's early? Get up. Enjoy the action from the final race of the World Cup. So we'll be back to see who wins the 8th and final Viessmann FIBT World Cup 4-man race of the season as we go for gold here on the Olympic track. Until then, goodbye for now.